Thank you for tuning in to the August edition of Growing Gainesville. I'm Lesley, Salman.
And I'm Pastor Allen. Thanks for joining us.
Growing Gainesville is a place where we highlight what God is doing right here in our own community. Through Christian leaders, business owners, and organizations who are advancing the kingdom of Christ in tangible ways.
Our goal is to encourage and support Christian business owners and leaders whose character magnifies Christ and their business is supporting our communities well.
So I am just so honored to be able to introduce the community today to Liz McEwen of Liz Marie Portraits.
Absolutely.
She is in my Sisters in Success business networking group, and she just has the most beautiful heart and spirit for Christ, and I had to have her on this show. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, for coming to my studio.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you
It's
here.
wonderful.
So Liz Marie Portraits helps women see their true beauty and embrace their power. How do you create an environment that lets people feel comfortable enough to let go of their insecurities?
So everything starts with the consultation. The first time they call me and they start asking questions about having a photo shoot. So I try to get to know them. I try to ask a lot of questions, what they're doing. That's very important because sometimes they don't know what they're looking for. So, and then I tell them, you know, it's not your job to know how to pose. It's not your job to know all the details during the photo shoot. That's my job. I'm gonna help you with all those details. And after they decide they want to book with me, so we do kind of like a planning session. They give me their inspiration board, and then we plan from there. So that helps them feel a little bit more confident on what to expect during the photo shoot.
So your work is more than just taking photos. You help capture wonderful moments, transition times in people's lives, celebrating things. So how do you lean in to help them celebrate these seasons of change and transition for them through what you do here at the studio?
Well, because I believe that every milestone of a person is important to celebrate. Sometimes people is waiting for the perfect moment, you know, the perfect weight, the perfect career position, you know, the perfect time in your family too. And life is not perfect. We have to celebrate the moment. And when you celebrate taking pictures of those milestones, then you're going to have something that you're going to look later, that your generations are going to look later. You know, I used to, in the past, at least in my culture, families will go to the sessions, to studios to have those portraits and put it in their walls all the time. Now, very few people do that. I don't know, maybe they feel that why should I have a picture of myself in my walls? Because that's important, even for your kids to see themselves in the walls. It helps with their self-esteem, right? If you see a beautiful portrait of your family in your wall, it's like, oh my God, I remember that time. I remember that moment. If the session was memorable, if it was fun, they're gonna remember that time. So I believe every milestone should be celebrated. My clients are from maternity, celebrating the new babies. Maybe they want to celebrate the 50th, 60th birthday with a photo shoot. You know, family generations, right? Very few people do that. They don't know maybe there's a service that can be offered. You know, I have a 5th generation in my family. And I had created a portrait. I still need to print it, but I created a portrait. So I would like that the clients, people know those are the kind of things that we can do for you. Photographers can do for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, pictures tell the truth. I mean, we can hold in our own mind a picture of an event or something, even a picture that we think we've seen at some point. But when you see the picture, it's the truth. That's what it really was. And even growing up, I used to love going to my grandmom's house because she had all the portraits of the family. And when my family comes over with our we're getting ready to go on a trip. And so my kids are getting out the pictures saying, look, this is when we did the trip when we were little, showing them to the grandkids. And so pictures are just really important. It does. It stirs up all the memories.
And you see the growth and the transformation from one time to the next. So you have heard every excuse for why women don't want to be photographed. What do you hope clients walk away with after the luxury experience beyond just the photographs?
So my main goal after a photo shoot is the client walk out with more confidence and seeing themselves, embracing themselves in a different way that where they come in, that they learn to love themselves the way they are right now. Because I do truly believe that our beauty doesn't come for our appearance. It doesn't come for, the degrees we have or the money we have. It comes from what God says we are. I don't empower women. they already have the power themselves. I just help them recognize how beautiful they are, how strong, how they're worthy they are. And when they see their pictures, I don't do sneak peeks, but when I show them behind the camera during the session, you can see how, that light up. That's me. And I have a makeup artist who's also with me, and she's always taking behind the scenes, so she helps me with that. And when they come, they are very shy, and when they leave, they're like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah.
It's like a different
Yeah,
person.
it's a different person, and they go, and this projects everywhere they go. The more confident you feel yourself, you're going to project that where you go, with your family, with your friends, with your business, right? So that's how a photographic experience can help you.
So personal headshots, branding for social media, for websites, those are becoming essential for entrepreneurs and business leaders. How do you make sure that the experience they have is unique to them and highlights them and then is useful for them after the session?
Right. So a perfect headshot is not just about looking good. A perfect headshot is that it will show that people can trust you while they see their picture, how approachable you are, right? So when I have a client consultation that have a business or as a professional, I ask about goals. I ask about their business. I ask about what their clients are. What did they think their clients were looking, for their services? So we start with a brainstorming, right? We talk about all about the business, because when we do headshots or personal branding, we can incorporate the daily life things that we do. Like if, for example, you're a pastor, you want to show something that you like to do that has nothing to do with the church, but it's something, maybe a sport.
Fishing.
Right?
I love fishing.
Fishing, right,
That's one of the
right.
things I love doing.
So what about showing a professional picture of you doing something related to fishing? So that's why it's so important, the communication before a session, because you want to know what do you want to portray out there about your business. When we have a business, we offer a service, right? So God has given us these gifts to provide this service. So we need to show up professionally and put in a headshot, put in, professional pictures out there. Tells a lot about how invested we are in our businesses.
Do you have any specific biblical principles that you would say that you bring into your work or that you really try to emulate whenever you're working and out and about networking or with clients or things like that, that you feel that you bring into your daily experiences with work?
Everything we do, we have to do it for the glory of God, okay? Like, for example, for me, it's a little bit difficult public speaking. I get very shy, but I know that I have so much to share, especially about the gospel, right? So when I ask God to tell me, when I ask Him, and it's like, give me just that confidence to go out there and start talking more about you, and I go into a room and somebody else start talking about God, start talking about the gospel. That is kind of like, okay, Liz, you can do this too. Connect with that person. Maybe it's something you can do together. So every time that I do something related to my business and my personal life, I try to do it with that joy that I'm doing it for God. Even I'm like, I'm not sure I can do this, but I try to do it that.
I tell people, preaching or teaching from a stage is the smallest thing I do. It's your life that matters. So you may not like to public speak, but your life and what you do and who you are and how you act, those are the sermons people remember.
Right.
So as the Growing Gainesville community, is there anything we can do to encourage you, to support you, to let people know about? Is there any way that we can support you even more or that you'd like to share right here, right now?
Well, as a business owner, we benefit always from relationships, right? So the fact that you guys are here and you're not going to put a little video about a little bit about my student, what I do for people is just amazing. I actually be a big fan of Lesley for a long time.
Aww.
So, and I say, oh my gosh, I wish one day I will be interviewed by Lesley, right? I was like,
that's great.
And it's been so many years, but now you're here, so that's amazing. But yeah, we always appreciate the referrals. So you guys know anybody who needs or celebrating a milestone in their lives. I do families, women. I do men too. I don't do babies, but I can happily refer to other photographers' friends. Or if somebody needs to update headshots, or trying to start a business and it needs some professional pictures, I would love the introduction. That would be amazing. But also, I definitely will appreciate prayers because I'm embarking in a new thing in my business, a little bit related. So I created a mastermind group for women entrepreneurs.
Great.
And I'm trying to make it very faith-based. Actually, I did a pilot a couple months ago, and they love it. We did scripture related to business. We start praying in there. So, and the podcast is also related.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. It's always so encouraging to see how God is working right here in our community.
We're so very grateful for the way that you are serving faithfully and making an impact with what you do here at Liz Marie Portraits. It's amazing, and thanks for inviting us here to your space.
So to everyone watching, if you'd like to follow along with Liz and Liz Marie Portraits, we'll include the information below. So like, share, comment, and follow along so you can hear more about what they're doing.
Absolutely. If this was an encouragement to you, if you got anything from this, please take a moment to like Growing Gainesville, to share the video with some others so that they could hear more about Christian business owners and leaders like Liz and the things that they're doing here to support and encourage our community. Thanks again for tuning into Growing Gainesville.
We'll see you next time.
See you, everybody.